trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? 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 Why we always looking for Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Well, a very good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is round 7 of the AGT ACC GT3 Championship. We are back for Season 3 once again, and 2 weeks in a row of action. Last week, we had 2 very action-packed races at Donington, and this week we have some even more action-packed racing, I would say, at the Hungaroring. It is, of course, the King of the Ring. We have a 1-hour race ahead of us this evening. A 15-minute qualifying coming your way very, very shortly. For now, we will have a little bit of a chat about where the drivers sit with only 2 rounds to go following tonight. So we are well and truly into the business end of the season. My name, of course, is Isaac Fogarty. Alongside me this evening is, as ever, the Scottish warrior, John Wright himself. John, very good evening to you. Pleasure to have you in the booth.
Christmas. We're getting AGT 2 weeks on the trot, so I'm assuming that Santa's on his way. Yep, we've got AGT 2 weeks on the trot. No 2-week delay this time. We are straight back at the Hungaroring, one of the most prestigious courses in the world, of course. The first race course to be built behind the old Iron Curtain. If you're old enough to know, you know. If you don't, then yeah, congratulations. But yeah, built back in 1986. This one is going to be a tricky one for the overtakes, a tricky one for the tyre, and it puts an extra emphasis on quality tonight. And quality. We'll certainly have quality, but it's going to put an extra emphasis on quality tonight, I think, Isaac. And yeah, very much looking forward, well, to see if anyone can overturn the Porsches, quite frankly, because they're running away with it, and I'm not happy.
Yeah, they certainly have been. 3 wins on the trot for one Matt Simmons, and that includes the Enduro and both races at Donington last week. Can anyone stop him? He's been charging up the driver's standings, and this is what they look like. Josh Struick, 114 points now after a tough week for reigning champion Matt Donetti at Donington last week. Matt Simmons only, I'm doing the maths quickly in my head, that's about 40-odd points behind Matt Donetti. So could find himself in second place in the championship before this season is over. Remember, he missed the first round, and we have confirmed he will miss the last round. So he's in a strong position, though, to take home a great result. Probably his best ever result here at AGT for Matt Simmons. Aiden Holton and Braden Henderson, both of which did not feature last week and won't feature again this week, sit 4th and 5th in the standings. But Simon Bishop is back once again this evening, looking to jump both of those guys to move up back into 4th in the championship standings. Max Silver sitting in 7th in those pro standings. In the Pro-Ams, it's getting a little bit close now. Bowen Piper had a rough week last week. DNF from race number 2 after a massive incident on the front straight with Mark Hurley. And as a result, Michael Toward has jumped up into 1st in the Pro-Am standings by just 7 points. It is a fair gap then back to Mark Hurley, but it's fairly close between himself and Riley Nicholson, just a handful of points in it. And then it is very close between James Barton, Rowan Green, and Nathan Hutton. And just off screen, about 10 points behind them, is Peter Sargent. So it is getting close in the back end of this Pro-Am Championship, and that is what we love to see. Teams Championship looking pretty spicy as well. It's about 187 points. That gap did close last week between CP Motorsports 1 and BCG 1. So that is BCG 1 slowly clawing their way back. Team XV Primer, hold on for now. Could BCG 3 at the hands of Matt Simmons jump up the leaderboard once again this evening and make up some ground? BCG 3 sitting in P4. Then it's TTR Westside and CP Motorsports 2, 5th and 6th. Defy Motorsports 1 and 2, still sitting 7th and 8th in this championship. Highland Motorsport 1, with Nathan Lee and James Barton both back on track next week, found themselves inside the 10 once again, up into 9th. Grimace Racing drop a spot and move into 10th position. Again, fairly close between a number of teams in that team's championship. It's getting a little bit further away at the top, but there is still some scores to be settled with only a handful of rounds remaining. We are about almost 5 minutes into the qualifying session now. The first of the laps will start to come in very shortly. So let's jump down to the track and we'll get some more of John's insight on just what to think or just what to make of this circuit. So John, Bowen Piper there, setting the first time, 44. And now Josh Struick immediately doing a 143. Talk us through this circuit. Obviously, you said it's a fairly old circuit. It's been around for quite a number of years. It's a fairly iconic circuit in a number of motorsports as well. It is a fairly technical circuit too, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, I do want to correct you there. It was built in 1986, young whippersnapper, which
well,
might have been
that's old.
centuries ago to yourself. But yeah, I was already in primary school by then, so thank you very much. Yeah, no, it is. It's a phenomenal course. This is actually where I had my epiphany in sim racing. I finally got my wheel set correct and went 6 seconds quicker and really started enjoying racing after that. So that was, yeah, fun times. But this course, to say it's technical is a monstrosity of an understatement. It is very, very, very difficult to get a lap put together around here, especially through the likes of turns 2, 3, and 4. And then, of course, that almighty chicane, turns 6 through to turn 9. And then just as you breathe a sigh of relief, we come at the end of the lap. And you've got 12 and 13 to deal with. It's all kinds of fun, and it does make it very interesting for the overtaking potential at this course, because there isn't much. The start-finish straight that we're watching Sayers on just now, that is going to be the prime overtaking real estate. Through the rest of the course, you can potentially get an overtake done, but you are going to cost yourself and your competitor so much time. Is it even worth it? I do often say the third car in the equation is the best placed. That is an equation that doesn't often work out at the Hungaroring. Just ends up slowing all 3 of you down.
Yeah, that's very true. Doesn't always best practice, let's be honest. Across the line, Matt Simmons, and does jump ahead of Josh Druitt. Simon Bishop, can he improve here? No improvement this time for him. These Audis, I've been told, are struggling. Matt Donetti, a late inclusion this evening, was planning to sit this round out, but has jumped in the car last minute. And can you blame him? I would also get to the end of the week and just want to get behind the wheel of a race car. Michael Tower jumps up into 4th. So he's looking quick out there as well in the early stages of this session. But look, there is not a, like, I think the Audis, they've said, doesn't seem to be a lot of pace. Simon Bishop's extracted a fair bit here in qualifying, but in practice there was about a second difference between the Porsche and the Audi. And as we know, the Audi was picked by Donetti and Bishop to be a little bit fun and a little bit dangerous this season. They have been fun in pretty much every single race, and they have been dangerous pretty much every single race. So they're continuing that trend. This is Matt Donetti on your screen now. He's on an outlap though, so we won't get an indication this time by on if he's going to improve. Adam Joy jumps up into P14 while that happens. And his teammate Ben Sayers is spun out of the final corner. So spun just before the line.
He was on a good lap as well.
He did look like he was on a pretty quick lap at that stage. You'll have to jump back to the pits. Do that car, and he does. Les Sandwith across the line. Will this be a lap time set for him? Does he felt? Yeah, it does. So he jumps up into 19th. Says he's felt like he struggled a little bit in the BMW this season. He said it's safer than the Ferrari that he drove for the previous 2 seasons, but he just doesn't feel like he can extract the pace out of it as much. And I'm sure, John, you'll be happy to hear that he enjoys the Ferrari and he goes faster in the Ferrari as a Ferrari man. But yeah, LJ, he's
if he's forsaken the Ferrari, that's why the BMW is going so slow. It's the Ferrari karma. Karma is like a rubber band.
He does have access to the
so
Donetti setups, I will
you in the face.
he does have the Matt Donetti Season 2 setups, but isn't applicable to every track.
So, here is the problem that you've got with that. Donetti is an alien, so he uses alien setups. I've tried driving alien setups. It's impossible. It's like driving on ice. You're like Bambi on ice. I do not know how they control the car, and I do often genuinely believe that it can be massively detrimental to us non-aliens for using alien setups. I genuinely do. For my setups, I go to a gentleman called Luke Addison, who is a South African racer. He is incredibly quick and consistent, and his setups are absolutely solid. I'm quite fortunate over the years. I've done some fairly high-profile races with some fairly up-there teams, and there's a few of them have given me a go of some of their setups. And my goodness me, oh my lord, it's like on ice. I don't know, the curves it slide, the tarmac it slides, it's absolutely wild to me. So yeah, it's all fine and well getting a setup from one of these alien drivers, but unless you can drive exactly the same way they do, yeah, you could be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, he certainly could. Bowen Piper, sorry, in the meantime, has jumped up to P3. Hagstrom jumped up to P8. Struick is looks like he's on a
just
good
gone
lap.
quicker, but he's within a tenth. Oh,
and yeah, he's gone quicker, but and I think Simmons may have just improved again. So they're going tit for tat out there at the moment with these lap times. As another car that's just jumped up in the 10, I believe that's Hurley. It is. So Hurley's come across the line, jumped up a spot. Nicholson sitting in P10 right now. Hagstrom in the 10. Well, we saw him on track last week, filling in for Aiden Holton once again this week. A number of cars jumping up. 47 car of Hutton has just jumped up to P12. We have about 5 minutes to go in this session. The track's starting to come alive now. Drivers starting to put down better times. I suspect the times will get closer as the session goes on. Everyone will jump back in, get a fresh set of boots, go again. Nathan Lee, he's looking quick. He's jumped in the lane, though. He's been looking quick the last few weeks. Had his best ever round last time out at Donington, so he's on an upwards trajectory. Wayne Tanner comes across the line to set a time in the position 21. Now, there is rumours he is on the move from KPL for next season. We'll have to see what comes of that in the off-season. Matt Donetti jumps up into P5, so half a second away from the time that Matt Simmons has done, but he is within a tenth of, or just over a tenth of a second away from his teammate Simon Bishop. So the Audi's relatively even at the moment in terms of their pace. And again, the Audi's, I don't know, it's hard to tell because the handling model is so different from console to PC. And the issue that the Audi drivers raised throughout the week is that the LFM balance of power is based on the PC version of Assetto Corsa, in which the Audi handles a lot better. So the Porsche and the Audi both have 16 kilos of weight in it. However, the Audi drivers feel that probably should be a bit less weight in that Audi. Obviously, everyone naturally, John, is going to feel like there should be less weight in their car, but I think the Audi drivers feel with the differing handling model, as Nicholson jumps up again, the differing handling model means that there probably should be a little bit of leniency given to those Audi drivers for console.
There maybe should as well. There is one massive difference as well, and there's not everyone that is fully aware of this. The main difference between console and PC, believe it or not, is air pressure. That is the big difference. Because of the modelling and the capabilities of console, unfortunately when they ported it over originally, they couldn't implement air pressure. That's why console drivers are always so much quicker at tracks like Kyalami, because Kyalami is so far above sea level, and then when you get to the top of Le Coupe, the mine shaft, that is even higher above sea level. There's less air there, so on PC, your engine doesn't rev as high because there's less actual oxygen getting in. That's how close to real life the simulation is, which is very, very good. But certainly the air pressure, that is definitely a big, big thing. Now, Hungaroring, they're not going to suffer from that as much, but it certainly doesn't help the cause when, as Isaac said, the cars are taken from the PC model, and then that data is then implemented onto the console, because it is completely different, and there has been more updates on the PC than there has on the console. So yeah, definitely a disparity, I would say, between PC and console as far as the balance of performance. So yeah, I can certainly see why the Audi drivers would be feeling a bit hard done by, although the rest of the drivers maybe not feeling a bit hard done by now that Matt Donetti. I mean, we joked last season, Isaac, we should find some way to nerf him. I think we've found it. We'll just get a dodgy, not dodgy, but improper car balance of performance added to the cars based on an alien platform, and yeah, he's slowed them down a bit. I mean, he's within 6/10 of a second, but yeah, there certainly is a big difference between these cars on the console and on the PC. So absolutely, yeah, I think it's something that does need to be looked at, although the way Donetti and Bishop handle those cars, it's not much of a difference. Oh my goodness me, Isaac, I've just seen the difference between the two at the top. That's
it's
insane.
Getting quicker. They are finding improvements out there. 143.3 is the top at the moment in this session. Matt Simmons cannot improve on that occasion, although that could have been an outlet for him. We'll have to wait and see. Matt Donetti comes to the line. He's finding pace out there, but he's struggling to keep up. Every time he goes quicker, the guys in front of him go quicker too. Across the line is not an improvement on that occasion for him. At the moment, your 10 looks like Struick Simmons, Bowen Piper in position number 3. What a result for him. He's impressed on a number of occasions so far this season. Rowan Nicholson P6 and Josh Gordon Michael Toward, your Pro-Am Championship leader. Then it's Mark Hurley and Dale Hagstrom that is sitting in position number 10. We've got a couple of drivers still out there. 56 seconds to go in this qualifying session, and jumps up, does Simon Bishop into P3, so finds a little bit of time there. Can Bowen Piper respond? Not this time around. Has a bit of work to do. He wants to jump up. Simon Bishop is done, so he will not set another time in this session. This is an opportunity now, though, for Bowen Piper to find some time across the line. Is an improvement at the death for Josh Struick? Not this time by. He stays at a 1:43.3. Still a number of cars, though, out there on laps and looking quick. Cars coming to the line. I believe that's Rowan Green crossing the line. Unable to improve. Ben Sayers just in front of this man, Riley Nicholson. He's looked dangerous the last couple of weeks, hasn't he? He's been performing very well. Sayers jumps up to 14th. Riley Nicholson, can he improve here? He does not this time by, but he just makes the line to restart. One more time across the line for the first to receive the checkered flag is Bob Norley, but he jumps into the lane. Matt Simmons, can he improve at the death here? He does not, so he will stay at least second. He will not jump up from there. Max Honeybun jumps up to 13th at the line. Matt Donetti is diving into the lane. There will be no improvement from him in this session, so he will stay 5th place. As Daniel Wood jump up, he does to 12th. Mark Hurley, what has he got left in the tank here? Anything? No, he's back in the lane as well. Is there anyone else still out there on a lap? Hagstrom is. Can he improve on his best time? Find himself up a couple of spots? No, stays where he is. Bowen Piper, can he displace Simon Bishop to get himself back up to 3rd? Can he find himself on the front row for what will be the 2nd time this season? He improved. Impressed, at Indianapolis. Does he jump up? He does, only to 3rd, but just misses out. LJ Sandwith across the line. He does jump up to 18th at the death. Josh Stewart, can he go quicker here? This would be absolutely taking it, wouldn't he, if he just jumped up even faster here? Does he improve at the line? No, stays where he is. Does not improve on this occasion. There is a couple of cars still out there yet to set times. I think Riley Nicholson, the last one of those that is looking super quick. Rowan Green across the line. Will there be an improvement for him here? No, stays in 21st position. Ben Sayers just in front of this man. Can Ben Sayers jump up towards the top 10? Across the line. Ben Sayers stays where he is. Riley Nicholson jumps to 5th, so displaces Matt Donetti at the line.
Oof.
Found a couple of tenths there to jump up from 6th to 5th.
What a qualifying session that was. Yeah, we'll get Isaac in with the results, but I've got to say that was very, very close. Piper there with the Mustang doing a phenomenal job. Not only that, Isaac, as we can see, he's purple sector 1. That Mustang is going to be one to watch, especially around the pit stop phase, I think.
Yeah, it's certainly, it is quick out there, that Mustang, and he will be a threat tonight, I think, to the overall podium. Money on the line tonight for our King of the Ring. So King of the Ring is something we do every single season, and this season we have a $100 prize up for grabs for our race winner and $50 for our Pro-Am winner, provided they don't win the race. But the pace that Bowen Piper has, he could be dangerous this evening for that. Our qualifying results just 1/100th of a second, 17,000th of a second between 1st and 2nd. Josh Stewart and Matt Simmons line up on row number 1 from Bowen Piper and Simon Bishop in positions 2 or 3 and 4, so row number 2. Then it's Riley Nicholson and Matt Donetti 5th and 6th. Josh Gordon and Michael Toward, your Pro-Am Championship leader, in 8th. Mark Hurley, Dale Hagstrom in 9th and 10th. A great qualifying session for Hagstrom in that Porsche. And it's Nathan Lee just missing out as well, very close with Daniel Wood in P12. Then it's Nathan Hutton, Max Honeybum in 13th and 14th. Lachlan Dawes and Ben Sayers 15th and 16th. Xander Stewart, Les Sandwith, Adam Joy and Bob Norley rounding out your 20. And then 22 cars on the grid tonight, which is Rowan Green and Wayne Tanner bringing up the back of the field. Also a nice insight here gone into the handicaps that we have. So 16 kilos in both the Porsche and the Audi, like we spoke about. 9 kilos taken out of the Mustang, but a massive restrictor put in it of 20%. That's the maximum you can get in ACC. Only a kilo in the Aston Martin. 23 kilos taken out of that Nissan GTR, so we would hope that it would continue to be quick in a straight line. 1 kilo Aston. Is there any other cars? 7 kilos taken out of that Mercedes and 7 kilos put into the BMW. Oh, and 21 in the McLaren. Let's have a look at your Ferrari, shall we, John? Oh, 16 kilos in your Ferrari as well. 30 kilos out of my Lexus. I think we've got a minute and 32 before we start the formation lap, John. I'm going to take this opportunity to just grab a quick drink. And I would love if you would talk us through probably what to expect here at this circuit tonight. You know, one-stop race at the Hungaro Ring. We've seen this before. It's a narrow circuit, difficult for overtaking. Just how much will pit stops play a factor this evening, do you?
I'm going to be honest, I think pit stops are going to be absolutely vital, especially for the drivers that do survive the lap 1 mad dash to grab any position that you can. This course is unaffectionately known by a lot of drivers as the Hungaro train, rather than the Hungaro ring, because it can very much feel just like a train, going round and round and round, following one another, looking for that overtake. The start-finish straight, as we mentioned, that is going to be serious overtaking real estate as we go through, because that run out of the last corner and into turn number 1, clearly the longest part of the track and the easiest way to get an overtake done into turn number 1. We do of course have the run into turn number 4, but turn 4 itself is an absolute nightmare. You really have to be on point. You cannot go side by side through turn number 4. It will not work. Both cars will end up off into the gravel. Then as soon as you get through turn 4, you've got 5, 6 and 7 to deal with, and then 8 and 9 it is a very difficult course to get the overtake done. Where we're seeing the drivers now is going to be where most of the overtakes happen, and as Isaac wisely mentioned, the pit stops are going to be absolutely crucial. I mean, the drivers really do need to be on point with the strategy. If they're going for the undercut or the overcut, coming out in clear track is going to be absolutely vital. And I do wonder if we will see the top two. Certainly we've seen Struik and Simmons run away with it up at the front. If we see those two with a bit of a breakaway, it's going to be interesting to see who flinches first. If Struik is still in the lead and he comes in, does Simmons follow in? Does Simmons come in first and Struik follows him in? It's going to be, as I say, an absolutely fascinating battle, and definitely the pit stops are going to play a monstrous part in tonight's strategy. We're watching the drivers on their warm-up lap at the moment. They're just coming through turn 2. This here, of course, turn 3. They have changed the course here ever so slightly. There used to be a little chicane. It just runs off to the right-hand side there, where those white tents and that fire truck is. In fact, there you go. That's where the course used to go right, and then left and come back on here. We're heading now towards turn number 4, and this one I did mention as well. Good slipstream on the way into turn number 4, but oh boy, there's not much leeway on the way out. Anyone that's driven this course will know that this is one of the most terrifying apexes that you take. It really is a point and hope for the best that you get through the other side with momentum and not violate the track limits. Drive-throughs, you say, we will see a few of those tonight, unfortunately. There will be more than one driver falls foul of the in-game steward, Isaac, and picks himself up an extra trip into the pits. So that is something that they're going to have to be very mindful of as well tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the chat, Max Silver rightly pointing out the undercut will be a problem for the leaders with traffic. So that's something they'll need to keep in mind, is how far are the cars at the back of the field behind them, because the last thing they'll want to do is come out and have to navigate traffic. That could be key if Matt Simmons isn't able to get past Josh Struik at the early stages here. Try and force Josh Struik into an undercut and try and go for the drive, or the overcut to get track position with the lap traffic, or does he go for the undercut and risk the lap traffic to try and make up time on Josh Struik? That will be the strategy at play. Slightly overcast here, it is cloudy, but at this stage no chance of rain within the next half an hour, and I doubt we'll see any rain before the end of this race. They grid up 2 by 2 now, rolling through turn 13 and 14. The chicane at turns 6 and 7 will be my least favourite corners tonight, solely because of the way they are numbered. But that is mostly because I spend most of my days working with children. Fortunately, that's going to be forever ingrained in my head. So now it'll be ingrained in all of yours as well. We have not long now until we get given the green flag to go racing here for 1 hour to decide who is the King of the Ring. The reigning King of the Ring, Braden Henderson, not featuring tonight. So we are given the green flag and a new King of the Ring will be crowned in an hour's time. But for now, they spread out. That is Simon Bishop in the background looking for room early on. Tried to go through the leaders, but around the outside goes Matt Simmons at the start of this one. There's Simon Bishop trying to drive underneath both the Porsches, but it is Josh Struick out in front at this stage. From Simon Bishop, Matt Simmons, though, looking to come back at his BCG1 stablemate. Up the inside, it is business as usual for Josh Struick, your championship leader. Back to the front of the field again from Matt Simmons. They're about to cross that first timing line. We've got away with it so far. No yellow flags. Everyone's still pointing in the right direction, which is great to see. So we'll get an order established here. Bowen Piper looks a little bit loose on that curb. Through 4 into 5 now. Up to the chicane at 6 and 7 for the first time this evening. Oh, closing in. The closing rate for Matt Simmons was too close, and he made contact with the back of Struick there. That was a huge hit, and it caused Struick to go wide. Simmons backed off to redress, which caused the traffic behind to check up, so everyone's had to get on the brakes a little bit more than they would have expected. Piper has lost a spot now to Donetti, so the two Audis sitting 3rd and 4th on the road. There'll be a little bit of damage, probably not too much, mostly just aesthetic damage to the back of the front of the number 8 Porsche and the back of the 33 Porsche, but it is getting spicy. We've got a car off the road. Massive hit there. That looks like Max Honeybun. It is huge contact into the wall. And Daniel Wood also off the road. Not quite sure what happened there. We might be able to put our resident Scottish expert on that one to unpack what might have happened in that corner, but there is huge damage on the front of that Nissan GTR, and he was in a good position as well, up to P11 at the start.
He was, yeah. I'm just going to try and scan through the replay. Oh, yeah, no, I'm getting cars this week. Oh, no, it's stopped.
Oh, no, not again.
Oh.
This is...
yeah, replays are out the window.
Cars, guys. Sometimes it shows you cars, sometimes it doesn't show you cars, and that is the annoying part.
It just shows you a blank track, yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, Wood's just run off at the first corner. Sorry, there's still action going on. I see Wood
that?
down at the back of the field. He's just run. He's run himself off. I think he was caught up in an early incident as the leaders were coming through the corner. And there we go. It's a repeat of the incident we saw earlier. We've got a Ferrari this time going sideways. It was a Nissan earlier. Really struggling to hang on to the back of that car there, Daniel Wood. He's done well to hang on to it. As I say, there was a bit of an incident there, bang on the mid-pack on lap number 1. Everyone did survive, and it has given us this 1 second gap between 10th, 12th and 13th. Up at the front, they're still keeping it exceptionally close as we'd expect, but yeah, a bit of chopping and changing down the field. And Max Honeybun, he is in for an early pit stop, and I tell you what, that is one forlorn-looking Nissan in the garage. The front splitter is on the ground, and the bonnet is popping up in the air. It's been a big hit he's had, and he is going to spend a while in there getting that car damaged as the rest of the field takes on with it. And the pros, it seems, not happy with the Pro-Am takeover here, Isaac. We've managed to get 4 of them ahead of the Pro-Am leader, Bowen Piper, who started up in 3rd, but still Piper will be absolutely delighted with his start. As I say, the first lap at Hungaroring is a scramble for places, like we saw. Piper's managed to get through that scramble, hold on to the lead, and he's now in a very good position with Nicholson and Gordon not far behind him.
Yeah, he's done great to make up some places here, and Honeybun unfortunately going a lap down. We're trying to put our resident Defy Motorsports reporter Max Silver on the case if we can get to the bottom of maybe what happened there. It looks like a massive hit. It wasn't braking for the corner, so I'm not sure if there was contact with Wood potentially, or he's done it all on his own. But if we do find out, folks, we will let you know, of course, and I'm sure if there is contact there, the stewards will look at that following the race this evening, and we'll get an update throughout the week on that. But for now, everyone else to continue. Max Honeybun is back out there, which is awesome to see. That car is looking brand spanking new. They put a new front end on that Nissan GTR, and he will continue on. Adam Joy, not a great start for him here. He finds himself down the back as well, maybe just trying to stay out of trouble early on. Daniel Wood and Wayne Tanner battling away for 19th place, and around the outside, Wayne Tanner defending. Wood tries to stick the nose up the inside here of the Ford Mustang. Not able to get through on this occasion at the front of the field. It's still fairly close. They've formed a little bit of a gap away from Hagstrom in 8th place, so they're starting to form their little groups now, their little cliques, if you will, at the front of the field as they spread out down the pack. But it is Josh Druitt from Matt Simmons and Simon Bishop in 3rd. Then a 1.5 second gap back to Matt Donetti and Bowen Piper. Rowan Nicholson also not too far off the back of that group, as well as Josh Gordon. So they are keeping fairly close together in 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. And another little gap back to this 2-car battle between Hagstrom and Hurley. And then Nathan Lee has Michael Toward for company. Michael Toward dropping down the order at the start here. Has a bit of damage on the side of that Audi as well. At the line, Xander Stewart moving up into 14th place. So it's all happening here at the opening. Look, it's relatively tame as Daniel Wood dives in the lane for a pit stop. I'd suggest to get some damage repaired and get out of the traffic that he finds himself in. But it's fairly, I wouldn't say tame. I don't think tame is the word I would use, but you'd expect more action for a circuit like Hungaroring. And when I say action, I do mean contact.
Indeed, yeah, you absolutely do. Given the tight, twisty nature, technical nature of this course, contact is pretty much an inevitability around here, but it's an inevitability that the drivers so far have managed to find themselves avoiding. Whoa, Matt Simmons almost coming a cropper through the chicane here. I'm not sure. I don't think the Porsche is designed to do, although it's Matt Simmons behind the wheel, I don't think he gets cars to do things that they're not necessarily designed to do. It's yeah, a fairly accurate statement. But I'm self-assured. But yeah, I did expect a little bit more contact as the drivers charge their way through lap 1, because as we've talked about, and they'll know as well, overtaking here is very difficult. And as was pointed out in the chat, it's all fine and well attempting the undercut, but an undercut here just puts you in traffic. And then you've got an even bigger headache to deal with. So it's all about the strategy, and the drivers managing to keep their powder dry, realising that, yeah, with a full hour race and a pit stop, although just as I'm saying that, I think Sayers has just been, no, he's not, sorry. Sayers is still ahead of Sandwith. I thought those two swapped positions there, but not my mistake. But certainly the two, I mean, the two up at the front, they're already starting to put a bit of a brake on Simon Bishop there, who is no slouch. In that Audi, even though it is an Audi and it is the more difficult car to drive. He is very quick, but we've got half a second separating the top two, and then Bishop about a second back, and that gap is growing. Not only that though, Bowen Piper fans will be exceptionally happy at the moment, because the Pro-Am leader, he is very much doing a pro leader type scenario here. He has got himself a good break back to Nicholson. He's left Nicholson being hunted by Gordon, and Piper himself is massively hunting down Matt Donetti. That is not an easy overtake on an easy course, never mind the course around here. But Piper in the Mustang, fastest driver in Sector 1 in qualifying, so he has got genuine pace around here. Why he's in the Pro-Ams is absolutely beyond me. I'm not sure what that category that would put me in. I don't know what's 3 stages below Pro-Am, but that would be, but yeah, Piper, top 5, good start to the race. And he is certainly going to be giving Matt Donetti something to think about here, I would say, Isaac.
Yeah, he absolutely is going to be giving Matt Donetti plenty to think about, I am sure. And Matt Donetti's created a little bit of a gap, so the Audi faster through the flowing final sector here at the Hungaroring. But come through turn 13, that Mustang is very quick in Sector 1, especially because most of Sector 1 is just a straight line. This front straight, and then the next front straight, or the next straight, and then the third straight, just for good measure. It is incredibly quick through here. So this is where he'll make all of his time back. Good to see everybody in the chat, loving, you're all getting involved and saying g'day, and I appreciate you all tuning in as well. We're streaming across both Adrenaline GT YouTube channel and TrackSpotTV as well this evening, so g'day to everybody tuning in to both streams. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and we have 50 minutes of racing remaining in this one, so only 10 minutes down. Being told as well that we had from Max Silver, so it's a pretty reliable source. Max Silver is very good at this journalism business. He said that there was contact from behind from Diswood, which resulted in the massive impact that Max Honeybun had with the wall. So, since we've been talking, Daniel Wood has actually come into the lane and served a pit stop as well. So he's got that out of the way, and we'll make sure that stop is, we'll make sure that damage is repaired and running again. He's saved himself from going a lap down for now, but the pace that these leaders are doing, he's really going to have to start to lift soon if he wants to avoid, because they're not too far behind him at this stage of the race. G'day Wilco, great to see you in the chat room. Hope you're doing well. Obviously KRL, Kid Buyers Racing League, just wrapped up their first iRacing championship last night. I was racing in that series but unable to make it yesterday evening, but it was a great series, all Australian tracks on iRacing in Porsche Carrera Cup cars, and looking forward to the next season that will take place for that. They have just announced as well, John, a 2.5 hour race at Le Mans, which will be time simulated to hopefully try and resemble as close to as possible the 24 hours of Le Mans if they can manage it, and that will be in, I think at this stage, potentially GT3 cars and LMP2 cars, so that will be a lot of fun on iRacing for those that are involved in that.
Indeed, yeah, I thought you were going to say the Porsche Cup cars. My goodness gracious me. Le Mans and the Porsche Cup cars.
Terrifying.
I'd rather... Yes, I don't think I can say at this time of day what I'd rather do, but there was certainly a lot of things I'd rather do than the Porsche Cup car at Le Mans. That is for absolutely sure. Yeah, GT3s and hypercars, that'll be good. That will be very, very, very good fun. But an all Aussie, I do love that as well, an all Aussie track calendar in the Porsche Cup cars. Tell you what, because some of those Aussie tracks, wow. You got to love me some Adelaide. But one at the Gold Coast, what's the one next to in the Gold Coast?
Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, the racetrack.
Oh,
Is that what it's called?
Street Circuit, Surfers Paradise Street Circuit in the Gold Coast.
Yes. Oh,
yep.
Wow. What a
Get that in iRacing.
That is. Oh my lord, that absolutely deserves to be simulated. I've got a friend that stays very close to that track. In fact, he's got to drive through it when the race is on. He's got to drive through back to get to work. And yeah, I've watched some racing there, and what a circuit. You Aussies are absolutely crazy. But crazy. Has to be said. Yeah, absolutely bonkers. But yeah, Le Mans, that'll be good. That'll be good in the hypercars. That will be good in the hypercars. How did you get on in the championship, by the way, Isaac? We'll have to ask you racing.
That's great question. Next question. I'm much better behind the microphone than I am behind the wheel of a car. Let's just say that. No, it was a lot of fun. I think my racing days are well behind me, but I'll do it. I do it for a fun on occasion. You know, you got to keep the practice up. I've got to be able to know what I'm talking about, and if I can get behind the wheel of a car and at least go in the right direction, then that's a start. But no, it was a lot of fun. But I'm much more comfortable behind the microphone these days than I am behind the wheel of the car. So. Oh yes, that's right. I did get a bonus point. I got a single bonus point through the championship because I pointed out that we were missing the setups for Bathurst round were wrong. They were the setups for the Adelaide race. So because I pointed that out and it got fixed, I got given a bonus point. So that is my greatest achievement of the season, which is probably saying a lot about my performance. Listen,
sympathy vote counts. I got a set of 200 quid surround sound speakers with a monster bass for driver of the month because I managed to finish 4 races. First time I'd finished the race in 2 years. So there we go. I got the sympathy vote. Out of 4,000 drivers, I got driver of the month because I managed to get to the end of a race.
Well, that's look, it's a win.
Counts.
Take the win. Take the win. Yeah, no, it's good. I'll listen to the vote. Meanwhile, we've got a car race still happening on circuit, if we don't mind, gentlemen. Josh Gordon trying to keep up with Rowan Nicholson here, but the gaps are starting to form. Crucially, I've just noticed as well, Ben Sayers stopped on track. Car 46 is not going anywhere at the moment. He's rolling once again, but he must have had some sort of incident. Looks to be minimal damage on that car, so maybe just a spin across one of the curbs. But the leaders are starting to catch now. Daniel Wood here, this back marker car, this lap car. So blue flags will be out for Daniel Wood, and he'll have to get out of the way. But this is going to be tricky now because the job of obviously the lap car is to stay predictable here. So sticking on the racing line, letting the fast cars sort of drive past you without doing anything silly. But given that he is part of the CP Motorsports stable, maybe there'll be a little bit of a team game played here in terms of where he strategically lets Ruick by. as to where he let Simmons by, because, you know, there's some spots around here where it might be a little bit difficult to overtake a lap car. So there could be some strategy that comes into play for C. Not saying that CP Motorsports are going to do anything dirty, John, but if I was a team boss, I'd certainly be trying to see how I can best benefit my team.
Indeed, yeah, I'm trying to see if I can best benefit my team as well by trying to get the replays working, Isaac, and I don't want to say it out loud, but I think I might actually be into the replay here, and I'm about to find out what happened to car 46 in a moment or two as well. So my apologies, I completely lost track of the point you were making there, because I was very excited at the replay function potentially working. But I think I do have access. There's a car on track. I'm going to just see.
It's a win.
It is a win. It is a win. Actually, being able to see the cars, that is definitely a win. So he's coming to the chicane at 8. He's made his way through there. Oh, no, it's the exit. Yeah, the exit to the chicane. Oh, and that's a big spin. Wow, he's almost taken his teammate out there as well. That was so close. I cannot put it into words. He's come through the chicane at the halfway point of the lap. He's hit the exit curb. He's gone stage exit right, and then he's done the hubris and tried to correct it with the accelerator. Doesn't work. And what that's done is rotated the car 180 degrees. Yeah, but I've got many a panel beater who is very depressed at my the way I bring the cars back to the workshop. That's for sure. But yeah, that's so that was the spin we had there, and yeah, we can maybe check out a few more replays if anything else does happen. But that is what's going on there for. Wait a minute, now everything's frozen on me. Yeah, so that's what happened to Sayre, sorry. So that's why he is down at the back of the field. The two up at the front, absolutely flying though, I'm seeing, Isaac. Yeah, sorry, we were talking about teams as well. I take it that was in reference to CP1 and BCG being 1 and 2 and 3 at the moment, and Simmons potentially trying to work to try and slow Struick down to let Bishop back in the hunt. Would that have been the thought process we were going for?
Yes, absolutely. It would have been, yeah, it would have been trying to put give advantage to Struick, but actually he let them both by in the one corner. So my attempt to build excitement and suspense was sort of thwarted by the fact that he let them both by. I'm just following these two battles as well. So both Xander Stewart and Rowan Green, the two McLarens, coming under a fair bit of pressure at the moment individually. So Mark Hurley in the Highland Motorsport 2 Ferrari is sitting right in behind the 115 car of Xander Stewart, and then as a consequence Adam Joy is sitting right in behind Rowan Green as well. So there's two fairly close battles taking place here on track, and that's actually a change of position. So Adam Joy has made his way past Rowan Green up into P16, and Mark Hurley will continue to try and work at the back of Xander Stewart here. These
9th place overtake.
9th place, here we go. 9th place around the
Hutton
outside.
up the inside.
Oh, there's contact between the two of them. Lee and Hutton making contact, and Hutton will come out on top, but off the exit of the corner. There was a little bit of side to side between the Lachlan Dawes in the background, maybe wanting to buy into this as well. The lights flashing for Les. That's Bob Norway actually in the background, but he's got the lights flashing. And not the run off the corner. Nathan Lee with a light. This could leave him vulnerable to Lachlan Dawes now, who is ready to pounce for a spot inside the top 10. But Nathan Hutton is through up the inside into the final corner. That was a lovely overtake and a little bit of side-to-side contact. And now that has left Lee vulnerable to the Mustang behind. And the Mustang very quick in a straight line, which means it's been extra strong in Sector 1. Wasn't able to capitalise this time by, so he's going to have to try to stick with him to capitalise to later on in the lap, potentially into the next lap. This means he has to set himself up now.
Indeed it does. Yeah, I just want to go back to something that was mentioned in the chat as well, because I know how difficult a transition it is. Bowen Piper, oh, there we go. Oh. Bowen Piper is on a steering wheel for the first season. Yeah, Matt Donetti drive-through is what I've just spotted. I did mention at the start of the race we were going to see track limit penalties. It is inevitable around here. Oh, get back onto 10th place. Oh, Dawes is really going for it. He's putting all the pressure on the back of that Nissan as they're coming into the final sector. The GTR, one of the lightest cars on the track with the balance of performance that we're using, but it's still massively struggling against that mighty Mustang. Dawes has got that thing absolutely corralled at the moment. Donetti is having a nightmare past couple of weeks. That watching him, he's going to drop like a stone at the back of the field, whereas Dawes, he is absolutely piling on the pressure in that Nissan. And I think into turn 1 here, Isaac, we're going to have a very nice overtake from a very quick straight line Mustang.
Yeah, we certainly are. Here's Zanetti serving that drive through. Unfortunate. And Dawes thought about it, showed the nose into one, not able to make a stick, and there we go. So he'll actually come back out here, Zanetti, in front of Xander Stewart, so should drop into position number 12, which isn't too bad. He won't be super happy, but the pace he has in that Audi, he will be able to claw his way back into the top 10 before this race is over. Dawes, oh, there's contact there with Nathan Lee, and he's off. He got loose in the corner, a little bit of front to rear contact with Dawes, which resulted in him having to overcorrect the steering, and then he had a snap to the right on the left-hander, spun the car, and will get out in front of the 115 car again of Xander Stewart. So the gaps out here providing a little bit of saving grace for some of these drivers, but Dawes made contact there with Nathan Lee, and that has actually invited Bob Norley through. So Bob Norley in the BMW has jumped both of them and is now up into position number 9, and Matt Zanetti, despite serving that drive through, oh, he's off the road. Zanetti's off the road. Massive moment for the reigning champion, and he has
tyre
temperature, and he'll be frustrated after that drive through. And that would have been at the chicane at 6 and 7. He would have just got it all crossed up across the curbs on probably warmer tyres, potentially overheated tyres, and has gone off the road. We'll drop a handful of spots.
No, so the problem he's got is his tyres have cooled down because he's driven through the pits. And his car is now 12 laps lighter in fuel. For anyone that isn't familiar with tyre pressure simulator, I mean Assetto Corsa Competizione, tyre pressure is absolutely vital, and the drivers will actually put fuel in with track temperatures and figure out what the tyres will do when they've got so much weight in the car, and that is a fine calculation that you cannot change until you get into the pit stop and change the tyres pressure once again to try and add or remove depending on the weight. Now the problem that Donetti's got there is that his tyres were up to temperature, he's gone off track, he's then had to go through the pit lane very slowly. There is no heat added to your tyres going at 50 kilometres an hour through the pit lane. I can confirm. He's come back out, we've lost a degree of track temperature, and he's lost 12 laps of weight in the car, so getting the tyres back up to temperature is now going to be a monumental struggle. Although having that little spin here, that might actually put a bit too much heat in them, and he's now trying to cool them down. But it really is, for anyone that knows, yeah, tyre pressure is absolutely key in this simulator, and for anyone that doesn't know, trust me, tyre pressure is key in this simulator.
Certainly is. Mark Hurley's into the pit lane as well for his pit stop. Bit of damage on that car. He will go a lap down here, which I think is the hardest part about some of these drivers coming through the lane now for their stops. They will go laps down, or a lap down, which means they'll have to navigate traffic. So trying to push on to potentially get an undercut on the cars around them, and they're losing track time with the amount of time you spend in the pit lane through this circuit. So unfortunate for, and he'll come out in clean air actually here, so this might be all right for Mark Hurley because he's come out behind Josh Gordon, so that will actually be relatively good, I would suggest, in terms of his track positioning. Now we're looking at this battle. This is Xander Stewart, Les Sam with Adam Joy for 12th, 13th and 14th on the road. Three of the closest cars at the moment on track. They're forming a nice little train, and then in behind them is Donetti and Rowan Green. So Donetti trying to find a way past Green as well here to get back through this field after spearing it off the road, as he said, on cold tyres at turns 6 and 7. I'm not going to read out the comment that Max Silver put in regarding that incident, because I think my brain might simply fall to pieces if I do. But if you would like to read it for yourself at your own risk, you're more than welcome to go and check it out in the chat. Up the inside now goes Donetti on Rowan Green, gets that spot done, and that's 15th place for the number 1 Audi. Continues his fight back through this field after a unfortunate drive through for track limits, and I suspect he won't. He's the first, but he certainly will not be the last to get that drive through.
Nope. No, he won't. Can I confirm as well for all the geeks out there, your average lap time around the Hungaro ring, about 104 seconds. We're seeing the drivers doing it at about 103 seconds. You're looking at a 60% loss of your lap. coming through the pits. That is not the most detrimental. It's not the kind that goes Bathurst, believe it or not, has one of the most lenient pit lanes because of the length of the track. Spa as well, only down at 69%. Laguna Seca and Zolder, two of the shortest tracks in the world, have the most detrimental pit lanes to your lap time because of the length of the pit lane compared to the length of the lap. But certainly, as I say here at Hungaroring, oh, and I've just been kicked from the server. Excellent, I'll get back in there. But Hungaroring, you're looking at a drive-through. You're looking about losing about 24 seconds on a drive-through penalty. 60% of your lap will be lost with a tyre change, and I will jump back in.
Yeah, it's that's very good insight there from yourself, John. It is interesting to note, really, just how much time you do lose trying to serve a pit stop around here. We're keeping an eye on this battle. This is the closest battle we have on track at the moment, really, between these three drivers. And actually now Xander Stewart trying to create a little bit of breathing space for himself from the two Team XV cars. So this week, actually, Adam Joy jumping in or Braden Henderson into the Team XV Primer Mercedes. He's listed as CST BFO, but he is filling in this week as a reserve driver. We've allowed that considering he is still a privateer entry, so kind of a reserve, kind of not really a reserve, but he is filling in this week. We can see there's a Nissan GTR in the background. Up the inside goes to Nettie on Adam Joy, so that's a positional change as Burbs opens the steering and lets him on through. The nice overtake there for Matt Donetti as he continues to fight his way through this field. He'll be up into P13, and now Les Sandwith is actually closed up through the back here of Xander Stewart. So had a bit of a charge, dropped off for a couple of laps there to maybe give himself a bit of breathing room, get the temperature, tyre temperature back down, and now has found pace once again and closed right up to the back. We are at 33 minutes remaining in this race. The leaders are 6 seconds in front of Simon Bishop. Moment they have disappeared off up the road. There's another 4 seconds back Bowen Piper, then 2.5 seconds back to Rowan Nicholson, and then a massive gap back to Michael Tower. Josh Gordon has actually come in and served his pit stop, so he sits 19th on the road now. But he has stopped, and he's all on his own. You can see him there just coming across the start the third sector now, down at turn 12, all by himself. That is a very lonely piece of track, but great for his lap times. Considering he was trying to get past Rowan Nicholson and was unable to, this could be prime undercut opportunity for Josh Gordon.
Indeed it could be, yeah. It's certainly going to be the strategy that he's going for. He's going to be hoping for as much clear air as he can get and try and get involved. See, it's a catch-22. You don't want too much clear air. You do want a car ahead of you, giving you a bit of slipstream assistance, which he does have. He is, Sam was down there. It's an awkward position for him to be in with the cars. Oh, and he's gone off.
Oh, off the road. Les Sandwith, that is.
Les Sandwith.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Well, it is indeed. That is a painful one there. The BMW not behaving at all. And that's through turn, what was that, through 4 and 5. I did mention those as being a bit of a hotspot. That exit to turn 4, Isaac, as you may well know, that curve has got a little lip towards the outside. And if you go just over that lip, that really unsettles your front right wheel, and that's you gone. There's just no recovery from it, and he's now in the unenviable position of trying to keep himself out of the way of the quicker traffic while trying to get himself back to the pits to get repaired, because he does still have a race to run himself. Let's not forget that. Oh wow, Tower comes into the pits before the halfway mark from inside the top 5. Top 6. Interesting choice.
Josh Gordon did the same thing. He was in 6th place. Decided to come in for a pit stop, so maybe, given these guys are TTR Westside teammates, there's a bit of intel from Josh Gordon saying this is working. Come in now, we'll go for the undercut. Maybe they both feel like they could jump Nicholson here. Where is
Sandwith in the lane.
Sandwith is in the lane as well with the damage that he has on that car.
Unsurprisingly,
yep. So, yep, he will come in and get his pit stop out of the way, try and reset, go again. Donetti up to 12th. He is actually up to 11th now, ahead of Xander Stewart. So he's jumped the McLaren there. Gotten past, will actually be in the top 10 once Michael Tower falls down the order with his pit stops. However, that will then be corrected once we all serve a pit stop. So everyone at the top of the field yet to serve a stop. We have...
Yeah, either Struick has had an issue or Matt Simmons is using nitrous.
He's closed
the gap
up,
is now
hasn't
down to 6/10 of a second.
He has closed that
he's
right
closed up. Yep, he's attached the bungee cord and it's pulling him along behind him now. That gap was exponentially larger only a few laps ago, so I'm not sure if Struick... Yeah, no, I don't think they're close enough to traffic for it to be traffic, so I think Struick's maybe had himself a bit of a moment. I'm gonna push my luck here, Isaac. We're going in for a second replay. Wish me luck. I'll see if I can find out
salute you, sir. As we say that, a number of leaders have come into the lane. So Simon Bishop's in, Bowen Piper is in, Riley Nicholson responding to the pit stop that Michael Tower had pulled off just a lap ago. Josh Gordon has just come through the 6-7 chicane. Yes, you can do it, Max Silver. I give you permission. He's coming through turn 8 now and up into 9. So towards that final sector, he is pushing hard. Where will Nicholson come out in relation? Bob Norley's also in. So is Lockwood Doors. Nathan Hutton has pushed on and continued. But as we reach the halfway mark, people are electing to split this race 50-50, which is a bold call. That is Adam Joy now into the lane as well. Matt Donetti has continued on, as has Xander Stewart. But a number of cars have taken this opportunity. Wayne Tanner, Ben Sayers will be two that also find themselves diving into the lane, it does seem. The 97 jumps into the pit lane and Ben Sayers also finding himself in. Where is Josh Gordon? Here is Josh Gordon, car 25. Where is Riley Nicholson? Is he out of the lane? He's on his way out. He's been released, but Josh Gordon's going to get him, so he's jumped Josh Gordon. Riley Nicholson's actually jumped Bowen Piper in the pit lane here. So Nicholson's come out ahead of Piper, but Josh Gordon has jumped both of them. That is a massive moment because that is potentially... actually, it won't be a podium position because Simon Bishop exists. But that is the lead of the Pro-Am class. So Josh Gordon will inherit the Pro-Am class lead. And Riley Nicholson will move up to second. Bowen Piper drops from first in class to third.
Yeah, that's quite the turnaround. Oh, is that Simmons coming into the pits as well? So I'm still watching this replay there. I think Struick had a bit of a wiggle through the chicane and then had a bit of a moment on the way out of the final corner on lap 17, and I think that's what's closed them up together. Can't see anything that's massively standing out, so yeah, it just goes to show just the mindless the moment.
No, Wayne Tanner. That is incredibly unfortunate. 30-second stop go for speeding on entry into the pit lane. That will feel like a lifetime at this circuit. Dropped has Matt Simmons. Here we go. He's going to come out in traffic here by the looks of it. We can see in the background there's a number of cars that are coming through the final corner. This could be... It might be... Oh, actually, no, a couple of them have dived in, so he might be okay here. He will come out in front of Les Sandwith and Max Honeybun. So, Les won't fight him too hard here. LJ will just let him go. And in front of him is Hagstrom, and Hagstrom will be in the business of holding him up. So that will be the team game that is played now for Hagstrom to help Struick out here. Matt Simmons will have to make light work of him unless he wants to not lose a lot of time. The question will be, does Struick come into the lane this time by? He is pushing on, so he's going on with it. At the moment, the race leader doesn't feel like he needs to come in just yet. He's coming up to Bob Norley to lap him. We have 5 cars left on circuit that haven't stopped. 2 of those are in the lane. Matt Donetti has served his pit stop and is on his way back out now. He will come out, at this stage it looks like, behind Nathan Lee and Lachlan Dawes. And when the pit stops play out, we'll see where they drop. He's actually going to come out just in front of Lachlan Dawes in his Mustang. There we go. Jumps him. It's in position. We'll have to see what that is on correction once all the stops work out. But Hagstrom, Hutton and Struick yet to stop. Matt Simmons sits in 4th. He is not too far behind Dale Hagstrom. He's got the fast lap of the race at the moment, Matt Simmons. So he does have pace in that car. The question will be, can he navigate his way past Hagstrom with relative ease, or how long does Josh Struick elect to stay out?
Yeah, that is the big conundrum that we've got at the moment. Hagstrom has a pitted car behind him, but he's got his teammate ahead of him, looking to bring home the race win. And Struick Where is he now? He is just okay. He's just coming into the third sector now, so he has got a bit of time ahead of him. Saw him stumbling there because he has just cleared some back markers. He does have a bit of time to the next car ahead of him, which I believe is Michael Toward up in 9th place, and Toward has pitted, so Struick is now starting to catch up to the cars, or more of the cars that have pitted. We'll see, and I'm certainly going to keep an eye on him and see if he comes. No, he doesn't. He stays out again. He is reaching and breaching the halfway mark. We did say it would all be about the strategy, and Struick is going for the monster overcut here. Simmons has been in for quite some time. He's got a second to make up to Hagstrom now. The two Porsches, 3rd and 4th place overall, so we'll see. I mean, this is what we're saying, or just what you were saying there, Isaac. It's an interesting proposition for the team and for Hagstrom. Team orders, you would think here, are going to be to stay out as long as possible, but there's no way they could have planned for this eventuality. So how much fuel did they put in the car at the start? I mean, we do say a lot of the drivers will go for a 50-50 strategy. It keeps the weight of the car down, or the average weight of the car down over the race, thereby theoretically making it that bit quicker. But Hagstrom, we're now 35 minutes in with 25 to go. We don't usually often see cars going this long, so it's about how much fuel he's got, and it looks like he's got fuel for another. So he planned to go long anyway, and this has just landed into the hand of his team because he is holding up the main race championship protagonist.
Yep, he is. He's going to have to go for the move. He's going to have to be decisive. Matt Simmons under brakes into turn 1. He doesn't want to spend too long working at this one. And Hagstrom's going to try and drive underneath him here off the corner. But I think Matt Simmons will be okay. He is. On the run down towards turn 2, he is ahead and got position. So that means, I would suspect that this time by, Josh Struick may dive into the lane. No, he stays out again. Josh Struick is going on with it once more. So he has decided he's got enough fuel in this car. He's just going to keep going. We have 23 minutes left in this race, folks. I don't know when Josh Struick thinks he's going to come into the lane. Obviously, it has to be soon, sure, you would imagine. But Matt Simmons has now been released. From now you'll come in. That's what I'm predicting. But Matt Simmons has been released.
5 to go. Sorry, yes.
5 to go,
Matt Simmons, yeah.
It's fastest car on track.
I think with 5 minutes to go. Yeah, I think 5 minutes to go is when Struick comes in. I think Struick's done here, and he's probably going to come in on this lap now. We said it, but we have been saying all day it's very difficult to overtake. It's all going to be about the pit strategy. Well, if it's definitely difficult to overtake, then just stay out on track and let everyone come at the pits. Get the overtake done then, and just stay out and just absolutely hammer it. And I think it's a testament to just how quick Struick is. The fact that he's clearly carrying so much more weight than Simmons, given how much longer he's got. That's an extra 8 minutes of fuel that he's used, and he is not slowing down any. So Simmons is picking up the fastest lap, but Struick with the most consistent and I think the most impressive drive. As I say, Isaac, he's clearly got way more weight in the car with the fuel that he's got on board. So the fact that he's led from the start to now, absolutely, even more impressive than it already looks.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let us know in the chat who comes out in front of. We've got a quick poll up. Struick or Simmons, who comes out in the lead of this race once these stops all play out? Get your votes in now in the chat, folks. We want to hear from you. This is Matt Donetti working on the back of Nathan Lee, trying to find a way past. Josh Struick, is he going to come in this time? He does, so he's dived in. Enough is enough. He's in the late. He will get this stop out of the way. We'll get an answer to our question. So quick, get those votes in, folks. Let us know who's coming out in front right now, because it's actually about to happen in front of our very eyes. And at the moment, everyone's saying Josh Struick will come out in front. How do I vote Donetti? I don't. Fortunately, Matt Donetti, sitting in 12th place at the moment, will not come out in front of Josh Struick and Matt Simmons at this stage.
Told you, as soon as I said he'd go longer, he's coming.
He's coming.
Struick in the pits.
He's listening to you. He's heard what you've said, and he's decided, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay in the lane. So he's made it to his box. Where is Matt Simmons? He's just coming up through turn 11 now. Through the final sector. Start the final sector. This could be close. This could be close. This could be very close. We're watching this battle between Donetti and Lee. Donetti trying to find a way past the Nissan GTR in front, which has a lot of speed. It has a lot of weight taken out of it this week as well, which is making it quick in a straight line. Deesh, where is he? Has we have got any movement from our race leader? He's just dropped there. He goes. He's on the throttle. He's got a fair bit of the lane to travel.
Simmons is last corner.
Simmons is out onto the front straight now.
Corner.
Josh Struick has been released though, so here we go. He should come out in front. This should be clear, and it is well clear for Josh Struick. So it is nowhere near as close as I thought it was going to be. And comes out in front is Josh Struick. We were hyping this up to be close, but I think Hagstrom has done the job for his teammate and made sure that he has come out in front of the number 8 car here, and Struick should be in control of this race. Me up the inside goes Martinetti. A nice overtake there on Nathan Lee and moves himself up a spot into 11. He's got 7 seconds now up the road, 20 minutes to try and catch Bob Norley and get himself back into the top 10. I think he can do it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Given what we've seen last season and this season, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. That is Hutton in and out of the pits, and he is in the lead of the Pro-Ams. Oh no, he's not. Sorry. My apologies. It's all just updated there. Yeah, Hutton has dropped back, so it is Gordon. It is still Gordon out in the lead, but he's still got Nicholson absolutely breathing down his neck. The two Astons are only separated by half a second through the chicane, and Bone Piper only 2 seconds down, so it's certainly finally poised in the Pro-Ams, but it's Gordon that's got the track position for TTR Westside at the moment. Nicholson for CP currently running in 5th place, but that is some showing, Isaac. We've got the top 3 in the Pro-Ams all in the top 6, so 3 pros, then 3 Pro-Ams. The Pro-Ams certainly doing themselves some serious justice this season.
Yeah, absolutely they are. And Rowan Nicholson closing up to Josh Gordon, so this could be a nice little battle if it goes on. Bowen Piper could get himself a piece of this as well. Michael Toward some 11 seconds away from that battle, but hey, you never know, something could happen to close this up. But at the moment, the lead of the race is what we're most concerned about for these guys, and it is 3/10 at the line, so it is getting spicy at the end of, towards the end of this one. 18 minutes to go, so 2/3 of the way through this 1 hour race. King of the Ring status for the pros, well and truly in control here for Josh Struick, but King of the Ring status for the Pro-Ams is at the moment undecided between Josh Gordon, Rowan Nicholson, and Bowen Piper, we're being told, is fully focused. He's not even in the team comms tonight. So usually Defy Motorsports have about 7 or 8 drivers they're all chatting to. Bowen Piper has decided, I need to take this very seriously, and he is not in the team comms, and he's gaining on these guys. So we will have a 3-way fight for the lead of the Pro-Am class very, very soon, John.
Yes, we absolutely will. Norley fully locked in. You absolutely love to hear it. And it is going to be, yeah, very... sorry, Piper as well. Sorry, I'm absolutely all over the place looking up and down at the times as well. I'm absolutely all over the place. But yeah, there is going to be, as you say, a 3-way fight there in Piper, because I was reminding myself, Piper, again, this is his first season on a wheel. And that is not an easy transition for anyone that's made... Piper is not in team call. Oh, okay, yep. Anyone that's made the transition from joypad to wheel, it's a big jump. You suddenly start questioning whether you could ever drive, because you do seem to get slower almost, and you do have to get back up to speed again using the wheel. So we'll see how he gets on, but certainly a big battle. 1.5 seconds he's got to make up, but Gordon and Nicholson are going to make it easy for him, given how close they are, and Gordon's going to have to be a bit more defensive on his apexes. Yeah,
he certainly is. And given we are focusing on Josh Gordon and TTL Westside at the moment, I've actually been queuing this up in the background. I've brought in a familiar name, an old face, if you will, in AGT. Stepped away this season. He's moved to PC, and you know, because Sony has decided they don't support triple monitors, he's unfortunately not featuring this season. We miss him dearly, but it's great to have him in the booth. Nick Carter, it's great to have your company, mate. We were seeing earlier, you were jumping in, following along, but these guys, Josh Gordon and Michael Toward for TTR, yourself and Machen stepping away from the series, these guys filling your shoes and doing a wonderful job of it so far at the moment. Both cars inside the top 10.
In the yeah, no, they've stepped up and filled the shoes nicely. It's a pity we can't still be there with them. It would have been good to field a couple of teams for this season, but the lure of the triple monitors has been too much.
It's always the way, isn't it? The triple monitors really do, really, once you have them, you really don't want to go back at all. So, but yeah, talk to us about, obviously for you spent a number of seasons in this series. You were a face that was constantly at the top of this field. What does it take to be at the top here? These guys today, like obviously we still have some fairly big names. Josh Struick, as you said earlier, is doing Josh Struick things. Matt Simmons is there. Simon Bishop, Matt Danetti's floating around as well. For the likes of Josh Gordon, Michael Tower to be at the top of this field where they are is certainly no easy feat.
No, not at all. The competition has always been extremely high in AGT and previous series like KRL and stuff, where a lot of those boys raced prior. I spent my whole time in both yours and Wilco's series just chasing those guys and trying to figure out how they were doing the laps they were doing, and I could get close on occasions, and it was fun to sort of stick with them when you can. But yeah, they are next level, those boys. But I don't really know what it takes to do that consistently. I think you sort of can figure out the lap, but then trying to string those laps over and over and over and over and over again in a race, as robotically as they can do, is another level. Yeah, so I think it's just simply learn the lap and try as best you can to do it over and over again without getting distracted or making mistakes, which is extremely difficult, especially against boys that like those guys who are just, I think they're just natural talents at this sort of racing. So it's good to have.
Sorry, I'm going to jump in. We've just seen a change in the lead here, and that is Gordon has been overtaken. He's made a little bit of a mistake through turns through turn 5 and 6 there on the exit. He ran himself. Why 6 and 7? Sorry, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm 48. I've got no idea what that means. No idea. Nobody does. I'm
no one
the
knows what it
wrong
means.
generation for that one. No, yeah, that's the whole point of it. Yeah, but Riley Nicholson, he knows what it means. He is in car 6, and he's not in P7 anymore. He's in P4, which is P1 at the top of the Pro-Am. Sorry, Nick, I jumped all over you there, mate. But yeah, change to lead the Pro-Ams.
It certainly was.
Enjoy the action while it's happening.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so change the lead. Riley Nicholson moves up to P4. Nick, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you, mate. What's been happening for you? Where are you racing these days? Obviously, we're going to get on to Sony about supporting triple monitors ASAP so we can get you back in this series. But where have you been racing? What's been keeping you busy at the moment?
If you can get Sony to do triples, I'd happily jump back in with the PlayStation as well. But yeah, I've just been obviously iRacing a lot, learning the sim, doing Wilco's first season with KRL, which has been fun in the Porsche Cup car there in the Australian circuits. Again, chasing super fast guys and having a ball, just as much fun. I mean, the racing is the racing. If you've got the guys to race around that are good fun to race against, which everyone in AGT is and everyone in KRL is, it's fun to be around the like-minded individuals. It's a lot better than the daily races where you have no idea who you're up against. And I like racing the same boys over and over and over again. So just enjoying iRacing as much as I can, and looking forward to getting into some leagues and try quietly in the background trying to get a bunch of the boys from PlayStation over to PC. But I think there's a lot of boys that are going to be sticking around for the PlayStation sim racing for a long time, which is honestly is equally as fun. Just iRacing is what it is.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, iRacing is the is the racing sim, isn't it? So. We'll hopefully.
Race Room is the best.
Yeah, Race Room is the best.
As I said, so yeah, no, sorry. Race Room is way better than any simulator out there.
Well, we can have this debate all night, gentlemen, I'm sure. But Nick, we appreciate your time. It was an absolute pleasure to chat to you and catch up once again. And we'll make sure we get on to Sony about supporting triple monitors so we can have you back soon, eh?
You do that, chaps. Enjoy the rest of the night, and I'll keep tuning in when I can.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. And Nick Carter there. Great to have a chat to some of the people that we were so used to seeing for those last few seasons, and a multiple-time race winner in AGT as well, John. So it's great to have his company. But I think, unfortunately, while we were talking to him, his I wouldn't call him his replacement, but he's the man that stepped into his seat this season, Josh Gordon, unfortunately losing that spot to Riley Nicholson. And with 11 minutes to go, he's actually coming under pressure from Bowen Piper.
He is indeed, yeah. It's a tough night at the office for Gordon. It's a tough night for anyone here at the Hungaroring, but Gordon just falling foul. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it was the pressure that was being applied by Nicholson. Nicholson was absolutely on point for about 3-4 laps leading up to the mistake coming through this corner. Watching here, and he's, tell you what, that was very, very similar to what took him off track and cost him the lead. It might cost him second place here as well. Piper absolutely dialed in, and Gordon sweating bullets, I think, at the moment. I'm not sure if he's maybe having a slight issue with these tyres. I know the track temp has come down by a degree. Oh, he really does like to use that exit curve as well. No fear whatsoever. The Mustangs certainly won't tread that far out. But Gordon, he does still have a bit of time left. Nicholson, I hate to say it, but unfortunately we've got to call a spade a spade. With Nicholson's luck, he is going to be sweating even more bullets than anyone else. If it wasn't for bad luck, he would have none whatsoever. I believe he bought a lottery ticket and they actually cancelled the lottery. That's how bad his luck has been. It's been
that would be his justice
horrific.
luck, wouldn't it? I think this season, Rowan Nicholson,
the machine broke, nobody got it.
every time he's done well this season, unfortunately for Rowan Nicholson, it's come undone somewhere. We're really going to hope that doesn't happen on this occasion, but it's not over until it's over, and there's still 9 minutes remaining in this race. We're being told it's around the outside. That's Ben Sayers and one of the McLarens, Rowan Green, battling away. We're being told that Josh Gordon is on his last track limits, so Ben Sayers is actually pulling off the road there, getting out of the way for blue flags, making sure these guys can get through as cleanly as possible. Rowan Green will have to do that very, very shortly. But, yeah, Josh Gordon on his last track limits, which probably indicates why he's lost a little bit of pace here. So, that is the last thing you want with 9 minutes to go. You do not want to have another track limits violation that good. Oh, Bowen Piper deep under brakes. I thought he was going to hit the back of him. The closing speed he had into the 6-7 chicane. Again, it's because I'm going to make me wince every single time I say it, unfortunately. But Josh Gordon here, he will be on a knife edge trying to balance this car and not violate track limits, but keep that car as fast as possible to make sure that Bowen Piper stays behind him.
Yeah, indeed he is. It's going to be... It's a tough test. I mean, it's so easy to get the track limits wrong around here. And when you've got that hanging over your head as well as somebody trying to overtake you behind, I think that's what caused the closing speed to be so great, is that Gordon is taking his time and making sure he doesn't pick up a penalty, because that chicane is absolutely where you will get one. It is much easier to get that corner wrong than it is to get it right. It just is. And Gordon's certainly feeling the pressure on that at the moment, so he's been pressured from Piper behind him, and he's got the pressure of the in-game stewards breathing down his neck. As we see one of the McLarens very handily getting out of the way of the top of the Pro-Am battle. The rest of the field very much doing Hungaroring things, as we can see. And Josh Struick, I mean, what? It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, Matt Simmons is no slouch. Okay,
No.
I mean, he's got IRL experience. He's done quite well with Gran Turismo, I heard. He was maybe not bad at Gran Turismo back in the day.
He was okay.
A few decent laps.
Don't know if
He
he was
was
fantastic.
okay.
He was okay.
Yeah,
Like, nothing to
he
write
was
home
okay.
about.
He was okay. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, nothing special for him. But he's 10 seconds behind Struick. It's no wonder they call him Jeesh. What's going on? That's more of an exclamation mark at his talent rather than a name, I would say, because 10 seconds. It's just absolutely frightening. Absolutely frightening. In the same machine, you know what I would love, actually, Isaac? At the end of the season, I think that you and I should pressure the drivers into handing over their setups.
Good idea.
So that we can have a look. I would love to get a look, especially when you've got Struick and Simmons, who are racing for different teams, but they're in the same car. What minor differences have they got in the setups? Or there is a possibility as well, Isaac, for the Uber geeks out there. They might be running the same setup, like identical setup. There is a possibility, but you know what I mean. Or are they running something different? Yeah. Sorry, physics me taking over completely. Back to commentary me. We've still got racing on the go, but I'd love to see the setups and see differences or similarities that the drivers have got.
Yeah, I absolutely would love to see that. It would be fascinating to note, wouldn't it, just to see exactly what it looks like for these drivers and just how differently they are setting up these cars, especially when it's between Geesh and Matt Simmons. We're looking at this battle on screen. Speaking of identical cars that could be set up very differently, Mark Hurley, Daniel Wood is for 16th on the road. Mark Hurley had a little bit of a look at turn 1, but was not deep enough under brakes to close up any sort of speed. Matt Dinetti is within 2 seconds now of Bob Norley with 5 minutes to go in this race, so he could get another position here. He won't catch Michael Toward, who's 13 seconds ahead of them for the end of this one, but there could be a positional change before we get to the end of this race. We have 5 minutes to go in the 7th round of the championship. There'll be 2 rounds to go after this. The Paul Ricard sprint feature round. I'm very much looking forward to that. Up the inside now goes Mark Hurley. His loom left eyes. Contact between the two of them. Daniel Wood turned into the corner. It was almost as if there was more contact between the two of them. There's more argy-bargy. Maybe a bit of frustration from Mark Hurley at Daniel Wood just turning into the corner as if the other Ferrari wasn't there. There's more contact and around goes Hurley. So there's further contact between the two of them. That's very messy between the 308 and the 100 car, and there is frustrations boiling over between the two of them at the moment, and that is very unfortunate for Mark Hurley, who as a result will fall well behind. And look, I think Mark Hurley had every right to be where he was on the inside of turn 1, but there was frustrations from both of them leading out of that, which continued all the way down to turn 2.
Indeed, yeah, that was, yeah, as you say, frustrations boiling over. We can't be sure, but certainly at first glance it did look like the two of them were absolutely going at a bit of door banging there. And they both come off a cropper. So it just goes to show, oh, no, I've just noticed Len Sadwith's got a drive-through penalty for track limits. But yeah, certainly that's the type of frustration you definitely don't want to see. It can be a long race, even just an hour round here, because it is so train-like and because it is so technical. It can, it can lead to long periods of frustration. But that, yeah, certainly not what we like to see. A bit of door banging, and one of them ends up facing the wrong way, and he has just made himself cannon fodder for the blue flags now, unfortunately. So he's not made the end of his race any easier. Riley Nicholson. Oh, come on, Riley, stop listening to the commentary. He's not making it any easier for himself. He's lost 0.3 of a second over the last 2 laps. And Gordon is now closing in. So Gordon's soaking up the pit. Look at the different lines to take out with that exit. The Aston much more liberal on the curb. As I said earlier, the Mustang really doesn't want to jump that fence.
Josh Gordon's taking the I would like to not have another track limit warning to get a drive-through line through that corner as well. So you can see Nicholson and Piper went probably over the curb, and Josh Gordon is avoiding anything that resembles a curb like a plague right now, although he does use that one, but he is avoiding everything like the plague that has any sort of white line on it, because he does not want a drive-through penalty. Lights flashing down the front straight. We have 2.5 minutes to go, and the battle for the Pro-Am win is far from finished. We have a couple of laps in hand. I would imagine 32 laps so far. The top 3 pretty much settled. Top 4 not settled yet, though. Riley Nicholson, Josh Gordon, Bowen Piper. Who comes out on top in this one? Matt Dinetti is catching Bob Norley. Caleb Jackson, g'day mate, great to see you in the chat. It's been great to see everybody getting involved in the chat as well. A number of people out there saying g'day, and we very, very much appreciate your support in these streams. It makes it easier for us to come back and do more the more support we get on these streams. Drive-through has been cleared for Les Sandwith. He will continue on now in, I believe, 21st position, as Wayne Tanner is a couple of laps down. Everyone's made it back to the lead lap almost, or not quite the lead lap, 36. So that's Rowan Green, a drive-through for track limits. That's number 3, and it's coming towards the end of the race. So as we get to the pointy end of this race, John, the drive-throughs are starting to become more and more regular because drivers are getting to the end of their track limit warnings.
Yep, they are indeed. The in-game stewards definitely kept busy around this track. That's another one popping up with 1:22 to go. If we've seen another 4 or 5, I wouldn't even be surprised. That would just very much be
Hungaroring.
Cool. Hungaroring. Sorry, yeah, I thought I read someplace that it was somebody's birthday, but no, it is not.
It is
now, who am I watching? Piper, Green, Yeah, so Bowen Piper, Nicholson now breaking away again. It's all about Gordon and Piper. They're back to within 0.3 of a second as Dernetti has caught up to Norley. I think Norley, under normal circumstances, would have put up a bit more of a... wouldn't have put up too much of a fight here with Dernetti behind them, but I think given how close we are to the end of the race, he is very much going to fancy his chances of being able to hold on to this position. Dernetti within a couple of tenths of a second, so that is going to be close. Certainly the battle for the lead in the Pro-Ams. It is going the way of Nicholson. Gordon absolutely backing off through a couple of corners, trying to avoid that drive-through penalty right at the death, and it's going to play, or it's playing into the hands of Bowen Piper. As we can see,
I think Struick's backed off, so he doesn't have to do another one. I think he's backed off, so this could be the last lap of the race, folks. Struick has done this perfectly. He's going to come out of the final quarter, and with the margin he had in hand, he is going to win here at Hungaroring. We have a brand new King of the Ring, and his name is Josh Struick. Matt Simmons had no response following that second pit stop. A drive-through for Josh Gordon on the final lap. So the TTR Westside car will have to come through the lane and serve a drive-through. If not, he'll find himself with a 30-second post-race penalty. Up the inside goes Bowen Piper, just to add insult to injury. And he will move to second in class, but it's disaster on the final lap for Josh Gordon. He carried that last track limit warning for the last 15 minutes of the race. And it has all come undone at the line, and it will convert to a 30-second penalty for the TTR Westside driver, which will drop him behind a large number of cars here. Michael Tower will be the first one that he drops behind. Then I would imagine Bob Norley will be the next, and so will Matt Dernetti. Bob Norley holds out over Dernetti. Oh, Dernetti loose at the line. He spun the car. He's got to get it backwards over the line here. He's actually spun the car out of the final corner, trying to gas it up. He's going to drive backwards across the start-finish line to get that car to the finish, but he'll lose a handful of spots, unfortunately, for his troubles. Or has he? He's lost one spot to Nathan Hutton, so he'll finish in position number 10. Dernetti off the line. There is drama aplenty here. Lachlan Dawes home in P12. Hagstrom will finish in 13th. In his second appearance here in the series, Adam Joy, and then Xander Stewart, and then a number of cars already finished. Daniel Wood, Mark Hurley, Ben Sayers, Max Honeybun, Rowan Green, and we have all cars across the line now. But Josh Struick is your King of the Ring, and a 30-second post-race penalty applied to Josh Gordon, which has dropped him into 8th place behind Bob Norley, and actually only a second and a half in front of Nathan Hutton. So he was going to lose 2 spots there, one to Bob Norley, one to Matt Dernetti. Matt Dernetti's spin out of the final corners actually saved him a spot. Massive drama at the line.
Yeah, that is incredible there. Dernetti is going to be absolutely kicking himself. Could have been 9th. I mean, Gordon is going to be absolutely kicking himself. He picks up a drive-through on the last lap when he's on for a podium, and it's kicked him off the podium. Norley will be absolutely cartwheeling to get himself up into 4th, and Toward finding himself on the podium because of that spin. That's absolutely because of the drive-through. So absolutely incredible ending to the Pro-Ams, and my timetables have just completely disappeared.
We'll get them back up. Do have I've been smart this week. I've added a practice session so you can get the timetable back up. I thought this one through.
Isaac got his strategy on point this week as well. Not just Struick up at the front of the field. Because I mean, let's talk about Struick for a minute. We barely saw him on screen. That's because no one else saw him on track. He absolutely held the lead. I mean, he's taken pole position. He's also taken the fastest lap as well, which Simmons held for the longest time at the start of the race. But as we found out, it's because Struick was carrying so much more fuel. He's carried that extra fuel, he's gone those extra laps, and he has brought home another absolutely incredible win. It's crazy. It's crazy to finish that far and to be able to slow down at the line so as not to have to do an extra lap. I mean, yeah, wowzers.
Absolutely.
That's quick.
Well, we'll just recap the finishing results quickly one more time for you. Josh Struick, Matt Simmons, and Simon Bishop are your podium. We'll get to chat to all of them shortly. The other man we get to chat to this week is Riley Nicholson, who won the Pro-Am class. His first Pro-Am, I think it's actually his second for the season, but his first where we'll get the opportunity to chat to him. Bowen Piper comes home second, and Michael Tower coming home third in Class 6 on the road. That's actually quite exciting for the championship battle between those two, because Bowen Piper will claw back some points here on Michael Toward. So we'll get a look before the next round at exactly what that looks like in the championship. Bob Norley comes home inside the top 10. A great result for him this evening. Team XV. Josh Gordon with that 30-second post-race penalty drops to 8th place. And it's Nathan Hutton, Matt Donetti back inside the 10 after that drive-through early on. Heartbreaking stuff. It's been a couple of rounds to forget for the reigning champion, Paul Ricard. We're hoping with that Audi will go much more his way. Nathan Lee comes home in 11th from Lachlan Dawes and Hagstrom in 13th. Adam Joy and Xander Stewart rounding out top 15. Daniel Wood, Mark Hurley, a bit of controversy between those two in the closing laps of this race. What will come of that, I'm sure we will find out in the coming days. Ben Sayers, Max Honeybun and Rowan Green rounding out top 20. And then Les Sandwith and Wayne Tanner, the last of the fields. And I just want to consult the timetable. Yep, that's right. I finished ahead of John Wright in this race, so I get 23rd and John comes 24th. Just going to save that one for the bragging rights in the staff room later on. But no, let's take the opportunity now, John, to go and have a chat to some drivers. I'll jump over the chatting screen and we'll get some drivers in. All right, perfect opportunity to now chat to some of our winners. And I'm actually going to hand off this first one for you, John, because I know you're extremely happy about this man finally being on the top step. He has had such a difficult run this season, and he's worked hard, and it has paid off because Riley Nicholson has got a Pro-Am class win to his name. And John, I'm going to hand this off to you to give the interview to this great man.
Excellent. I'm going to sit here and fanboy for weeks here. Riley, welcome in. I don't know if you know, big fan of your work. I've been absolutely on your side. I've said it a few times. I even said it tonight. I heard your luck was that bad. You bought a lottery ticket and the machine broke. So how does it feel to finally bring home a well-deserved race win? Because a lot of the times you've barely put a foot wrong yourself, just been in the wrong place, wrong time, or just a silly little spin. Tonight, though, it all fell into place. You qualified in 5th overall, 2nd in class, and you bring home the race win after the driver ahead of you makes a little mistake. How are you feeling tonight?
Oh, yeah, just a bit in shock, I guess. But everyone was, really well in the race. So especially with Mo and Gordo, we had a little great battle throughout the race, and managed to jump Mo in the pits. Into the pits in the pit lane. So and then once I knew that, I was like, okay, I'm back in this fight. So I was a bit stressing, but eventually it paid off, and I'm happy with the result.
Yeah, I would say, definitely happy with that result. How did you find the Hungaroring? I mean, it's an absolute certifiable nightmare to get overtakes done around here. So how important was your pit strategy, and did your pit strategy change at all with what was going on around the track, or did you have it hard and fast in your mind when you were going to come in?
I did change it. I did do it a lap earlier, so I was going to go at the end of 17, but I saw Mo was going to go in, so I thought, all right, I'll go in as well, and hope for the best. And then got my pit box in correctly, and he must have had a problem with his. That's why he had a little delay with his, I'm guessing. So, and then that's how I jumped in. But there was a lot of changes into the pits, and then as well for the race as well, just trying to how to maneuver and everything. So it was definitely going along with my brain in towards the race.
Yeah, well, I mean, an incredible race. I absolutely loved watching it. It's great to see you on the top spot, bringing home the race win, even just getting to the end after the luck you've had this season. But obviously now that you've got the race win, you're going to win every race until the end of the season and make a hard charge to the top of the standings. Would that be correct?
Pretty much. I'm just not worrying about it at all. I'm just here for fun, man. That's all I'm here for. I mean, at early first of the season, I was thinking about it, but at the end, I'm just like, I'll see what I can get, and hope for the best.
Yeah, and we've got Paul Ricard next. How are you feeling ahead of that one? I know that Aston's will do pretty decent things in the slipstream along that back straight. A couple of corners are going to be tricky for the Aston, though. So how are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, it should be a good task. I mean, hopefully it's enjoyable, first of all. And second of all, hopefully the car adapts to it really well and really quick. And yeah, I think this should be a really good track to, go into the next round and hopefully get some decent result. But yeah, as like I've always been going through, I've always been worrying about the situation during the race. I don't pressure myself before or after. So I'll just see how I go throughout the race and then just go forward from there.
Nice. Yeah, listen, that sounds like an absolute spot-on strategy. Riley, it's been an absolute pleasure to finally get you in the commentary box and see you get a result that your hard work is so richly deserved. So huge congratulations from me, and very much looking forward to seeing what you do for the rest of the season, bud.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go, Isaac. Riley Nicholson. He finally made it. My fanboying has paid off. I was right all along. I said at the start of the season he would do good things, and he's finally coming good. I've put a long-term curse of the commentator on him. He's starting to shake it off now, though, which is good.
Yeah, he certainly is. He is finally being able to jump in and make it happen, and that's been awesome for him to stand on that top step of the podium, and it is very, very well deserved for him. And as we said, prize money on the line tonight. Maybe that's why he's performed well. He's got prize money on the line, $50 coming his way at the end of the season for taking out the Pro-Am King of the Ring. We're going to keep it going now. We'll jump into the third place interview with, a fairly quiet night for the front three. We didn't give them too much screen time, but I assure you they were there, folks, and they were absolutely flying. Simon Bishop joins us in the booth now. Simon, welcome in. Congratulations, P3 tonight. Nettie was saying at the beginning of the evening that the Audi struggling for pace around here. Yourself as well said that it may not have been the track that was best suited to it, but you've made it work and you got yourself on the podium.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty good race for me. Like, if you discount how fast the guys at the front were, like, I thought it was pretty good. Pretty happy with qualifying. Got a great start, which ultimately ended up putting me right in the middle of something I didn't want to be part of. And then I thought I could hang with them for a wee bit, but then it became apparent that I could not. And then I got 3 track limit penalties in the first 13 minutes. And had to be very careful for the next 46, but that was all good. Brought it home. Obviously not feeling the best, may not sound the best, but a solid day.
Yeah, you said you earlier you were feeling a little bit under the weather, so we won't keep you too long, I promise. But look, yeah, as you said, track limits fairly early on for yourself. Matt Donetti, teammate, was one of the ones that fell victim to the track limits and found himself with a drive-through. We saw Josh Gordon as well got a drive-through right at the final lap of the race. I think drivers have probably expressed this. I feel like Hungaroring and Circuit of the Americas are two of the tracks where track limits are super hard to manage. Is that the case, or is it just sort of? I feel like maybe the curbs. Sometimes drivers driving across the curbs are picking up track limits around here.
Yeah, well, both of those tracks, if you want to go absolutely as fast as possible, then you have to push the limit, and so you're just going to fall foul of it every now and then. Our problem in the Audi was that we just got massive understeer sometimes, and you wouldn't know it until you turn in. And as soon as you turn in, you're done. And I know that's what happened to Matt, was he just turned in, had nothing, goes off the outside of the track, and it was done. But yeah, once I kind of figured out what we were doing, I was lapping pretty good. It looked like I was going to be in amongst the Pro-Am battle, but then I somehow came out of the pits 10 seconds up the road from all of them, so I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, it was just a solid day. Like, it was all right. The hunger boring lives up to its name. There wasn't much going on. I didn't see anything out the front, didn't see anything out the back for most of it, but I was just trying really hard. And then, yeah, I saw Josh get the penalty on the last lap. I came so close to doing it as well. So I thought to myself, no, I'm just going to back it down. And then I was so pleased that Josh didn't do another lap, because he could have. He slowed it down at the finish line to save us all. So I did ask Josh before coming in here whether he would have preferred to have looked at the back of my car again, and he wasn't too keen on that. So yeah, but those he drove really well, and obviously Matt drove really well as well. And then Danetti obviously went all right until his penalty, and then I think it unravelled a wee bit, but it's all good. We're on to Paul Ricard next time. We think we might be pretty good there, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, well, that answers my next question. We've got Paul Ricard in a couple of weeks. Obviously, you guys feel like you're going to be pretty quick there, so looking forward to seeing how you guys get on. But for now, mate, go on, rest up, feel better, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for Paul Ricard.
Thank you kindly.
Simon Bishop there, third place tonight, and sounds like it was pretty tough out there in that Audi. We'll jump in now. I'll hand over to you, Mr. Double O Raven, John Wright, to have a chat to the next man, the man that, look, he went 3 in a row, and then unfortunately this week, well, I say unfortunately, it's still at position number 2, but Josh Truick has ended his little run at the top step of the podium. It is Matt Simmons.
Yes, good evening, Matt. Welcome in. An absolutely incredible drive that you put on tonight, and a very, very difficult course and an interesting pit strategy. So lots to talk about. How did the race go for yourself overall, do you feel?
Honestly, as good as I could. I think Isaac already jinxed me before coming to this round, so I was never going to win. No, I'm kidding.
He does that a lot.
I'd do that.
So I just said commentators curse in the second stint the whole time. I was like, cheers, Isaac. No, it honestly went the best it could. Quali was wicked. I matched my practice time, which was a PB, so I really couldn't do anything more than that. So it was pretty intense between me and Josh for the pole. And then in the first stint, I had a couple of cracks here and there where I thought I might be able to get in front, but just try to keep some pressure on, and yeah, he was just more consistent really, and yeah, I just went for the middle of the race pit stop. I had a couple errors in the pits as usual. Just got to clean them up a little bit, but and I came out and just didn't really get the tyres in the right window early, and it wouldn't have made a difference. I mean, Josh went longer and then had less fuel at the end and absolutely sent it. So good on him. Full props to him. He was untouchable tonight, and also well done to Simon on getting the podium with that Audi. He was certainly battling it around there. So fair play to him getting on the podium.
Yeah, he's going to have 4 arms like Popeye after that race, the way you got to wrestle that Audi around this course. You mentioned the pit strategy there. Was there any thought, I mean, beforehand? Obviously, Josh has put in a lot more fuel to go that little bit longer. In hindsight, do you think that, well, I mean, it's brought him out the race win, but do you think that coming out when traffic has maybe slowed you down? I know you mentioned that the tyres, you couldn't really get them into the wind. Did you find coming out when traffic was a bit hampering?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll use every racing driver sort of excuse there is. So yeah, I'll say yep, traffic was an error. But no, it was just, yeah, I just didn't quite feel it. I could have definitely gone longer in that first stint, but I just thought I'd try the undercut and see how long Josh goes and see what could happen. If I could get in front of him, maybe, and then try and be a nuisance to try and get him, try and avoid him trying to get past me, and I could try, pull out a great, but yeah, didn't happen. I was quite happy with second, and yeah, was able to bring it home and didn't make any errors.
Well, yeah, we've already heard, we had some of the drivers there. Bishop was on 3-track limit warnings in the first 13 minutes.
Yeah, I heard that, actually. Yep.
How to give yourself an uphill struggle at the most technical track in the world. That's, yeah, always good thinking. Always good thinking. As far as the championship goes, it's been very much the Matt Simmons show for the start of the season. Jeesh has got bored with that, and he says he's going to win the rest of the, or he's about to say that he's going to win the rest of the races for the rest of the season. Matt, how are you looking forward to the challenge that he's presenting you at the moment?
Oh, it's great. It's so much fun. We know how good Josh is, and I know he's really going for the championship. He's been, I think, the reason why he hasn't been able to win in the past or be up there towards the end because he hasn't been able to do all rounds or something, or which can be hard. So he's definitely putting the effort in, and he's getting the rewards. So to be honest, I'm just enjoying the battles. Whoever's on track, and at the moment it's been me and Josh for a little bit there. So yeah, hopefully I can enjoy it for my final round, which is at Paul Ricard. I'll enjoy one last one for season 3, and yeah, and then we'll see what the finale brings with the rest of the guys to finish it off.
Indeed, yeah. And how are you looking forward to Paul Ricard next week? I mean, the Porsche has been pretty dominant this season, but that is a big long back straight we've got there at Paul Ricard. How are you looking forward to that track?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've got I wouldn't say fond memories, but last time I drove there, I think I did a 4-hour enduro on my own, and that back straight saved me to be able to do 4 hours because at least I could relax for about a minute each time. So yes, I think it's going to be very very good for certain cars that are strong in a straight line, like the Audi. So yeah, I expect it to be very very competitive up front, and yeah, we'll see where we are. It might not be the strongest track based on that for us, and yeah, just try and get the best result and have some fun.
Indeed, yeah. Well, when you're having fun, Matt, we absolutely love watching it. So thank you very much for the entertainment so far this season, and huge congratulations on the podium. And I don't care what it is you need to cancel. You need to be here for the end of the season. Whatever it is, just tell them the crazy Scottish commentator said so, and that gives you a free doctor's pass. So that'll be
I
fine.
appreciate that. If you work out how to get a sim on a plane, because I'll be on a plane, I think when the race is happening, that'd be awesome.
All right.
We'll work on it. We'll
Yeah,
get
Max
Max Verstappen's
yeah,
jet for you.
Yes, we're on the
Yeah.
same page. That's it. Yeah, that's
I've
it.
heard you do actually
Yeah.
get gaming aeroplane mats. I'm going to slide into your DMs and I'm going to send you a picture, but you do actually get aeroplanes now. Air Emirates do one, somebody else does one, but it's airplanes that are fully kitted out so you can game while you are flying. So, yep, the possibilities are there, Matt. The possibilities are there.
Oh, I love it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
There we go, Isaac. Matt Simmons, top bloke, top driver, annoyingly talented. But for all the talent he's got, it was second place tonight because he was out-talented by our one and only Josh Stewart, who I think you're going to be dragging in any second now.
Yeah, I certainly am. It was, yeah, he was, he had a lot of talent tonight, but the man with more talent this season, it seems, is the man that I'm privileged of having a chat to now. It is our brand new King of the Ring, Josh Stewart. Josh, welcome in, mate. Congratulations. Another race win to add to the tally this season. You are on fire.
Yeah, thank you. That was not easy, especially in the first stint. Matt kept me pretty honest, and it's pretty tiring to do flat out every lap around here.
Certainly looked like it was hard work. It's our understanding that you had a lot more fuel in stint one, hence why Matt was really keeping up with you. But then the lighter car in stint two meant you sort of just pulled away into the distance and had a bit of an easier time. And then we noticed very cheekily when you got to the start finish line, you slowed down just a little bit to make sure that you didn't have to do another lap. That was pretty clever.
I don't think that happened. I thought I was doing another lap. I don't think I slowed down. I think that. Oh, maybe I don't know.
Subconsciously. Subconsciously. You were sticking to a quali lap, decided that was enough. But no, it was. It looked like a fun battle between you and Matt in the opening stints. We've heard from a couple drivers this evening that track limits were a bit of an issue. Some drivers falling ill of the curbs, like just falling track limits, I should say, but just being on the curb. Were you finding the same thing? Did you have any danger of crossing over the track limit threshold, or were things pretty in control out there with your track limit?
It was pretty in control. I got one near the start going wide at, I think it is turn 4, the fast left-hander. I got one when I went wide near the start. I didn't get any after that, but I had a few moments where I went slightly wide. I had to lift, so it was generally under control.
It's always nice when things are in control, and I'd love if I could drive a race car and be in control as well. But no, look, things are looking pretty good for you, mate. Coming into this round, you had an 114-point lead to Matt Zanetti, and I would suggest after this evening, that will continue to grow to all drivers. So you'll have over 155 points in hand, probably about 170 odd, I want to say, following on from this evening. So I don't want to jinx it, but you're looking like one hand on the trophy from here. Are you feeling relatively confident? We've got 2 rounds to go. Obviously, Paul Ricard and then the 90-minute finale at Zolder. But how are you feeling? This championship's going on. It's just sort of, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've done anything crazy this championship. I think it's more been just consistent. I've always been there or thereabouts, in every race. And it also helps that both Simon and Matt Simmons have missed rounds. And then, yeah, so my main fight was with Danetti, but he's been quicker sometimes, but I've just been consistently there. I think that's what's really kept me in play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, you've done a brilliant job this season. It's great to see you do what you do best and be at the top of the field. And it's nice to see after Matt Simmons won the last 3 races to see you stand on the top step of the podium again, albeit when the Porsche dominance continues in the category. But look, how are you feeling about Paul Ricard? We spoke to Simon Bishop. He's feeling pretty confident. Matt Simmons said it's obviously going to be his last round. It's technically his finale for the season, as he won't be at the finale. How are you feeling going into Paul Ricard? What do you think your car will be like there?
I have no idea. I've only driven there in the Aston, same with a lot of things. So I don't know how the car will be. I think it'll be good. A lot of medium speed corners, which the Porsche seems to like. So it should be pretty good. And I've generally been fairly quick around there. Well, I say generally, it's the one time I've done it. So, I mean, I've got high hopes. I'd like to get, obviously go for the win again. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes, how it is on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do for the remainder of the season. And I don't want to jinx it, but it sort of feels like one handle trophy for you at the moment with the performances you've been putting in so far this season. But for now, congratulations, King of the Ring, mate, which means $100 extra coming your way at the end of this season as well, which is a nice little bonus packet. But enjoy this one, mate, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for Paul Ricard for the Sprint feature round.
Thank you.
Josh Struick there, race winner, King of the Ring for season 3. And John, I don't know, it's I think everyone seems a little bit exhausted at the end of that one, but Josh Struick maybe just doing Josh Struick things and feeling very in control while others were seemingly fighting those track limits.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven races at Hungaroring several times. I did a 2.4 hour around here, and that broke me in ways I didn't realise were possible on this track. It's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, Josh Stewart doing Josh Stewart things. And I think he's nailed it on the head absolutely perfectly. And it's something I was lucky enough to witness when I was broadcasting at SOP. It was someone won a championship without winning a race. They just kept consistently finishing on the podium. Drivers were either finishing ahead of them or finishing first, or they were finishing in 12th position because they couldn't bring it to the end. Not in any way saying that Matt Simmons can bring the car to the end of a race, but we did see early doors. He had the fastest lap, but Struick was in the lead. Consistency. It is absolutely incredible. I think we need to check and see if he does actually have USB ports in his armpits. I think we might need to check him for some kind of digital interface with the steering wheel, because again, from my own perspective, to do an hour like that at the Hungaroring is phenomenal. Traffic, strategy, technical, absolutely on point. And yeah, Struick, he's absolutely a well-worthy winner. And he's got his feet on the ground as well. He's 150 points clear with 2 rounds to go, and he's still like, yeah, we'll see what happens on the day. Folks, if you are looking for the mentality to become a race driver, you should be studying Josh Struick. Whatever he is doing, it is 100% the correct things. He is an absolute testament to... Yeah, a testament to the work and the effort that he puts in, and just, yeah, incredible. I cannot stop saying enough nice things and great things about just how talented that guy is. It's incredible.
Certainly is. And we'll get to see him in action again in just a couple of weeks' time. Friday the 29th of May, we will have our sprint feature around the French Challenge at Paul Ricard. We will go racing for 30 minutes and 60 minutes. The 30-minute race will be a reverse top 10. Boy, are we excited for that. Qualifying for that round will take place off screen. We're doing qualifying earlier on in the evening. so that when we do get into the coverage to go racing, we have limited gaps between the two races, which means that we will be able to run everything a little bit more smoothly for everyone on the evening. So we will make sure that when we get into the broadcast for this round, we have the qualifying times on screen or some sort of qualifying results ready to go for you all to view and understand and study. And then we will get straight into a 30-minute reverse top 10 race with no stop required, followed by our normal 60-minute race with a stop required. That will be absolutely brilliant. I cannot wait for that round at all. But for now, the news from round number 7 is that Josh Druick is your king of the ring for season number 3, and Rowan Nicholson is the first ever Pro-Am king of the ring. And John, it was a great night of action.
It really was, yeah. Huge congratulations to both well-deserved winners. Of course, I'm slightly biased with Riley. Just such a great driver. It's great to see him bringing home the race win. All the podium sitters absolutely well-deserved tonight. The Hungaroring certainly serving up its share of heartbreak for some of the drivers. We've seen some of the top drivers finish across the line. We've seen some of them finish in the pit lane with a drive-through. Yeah, all action all the time, even at a track like the Hungaro train, as we like to call it. So, yeah, another absolute barn burner tonight, and some very, very, very good performances again. Riley Nicholson and Josh Druick. Absolutely otherworldly stuff to bring home the race wins in an exceptionally stacked field, as Nick Carter was alluding to earlier. I mean, we're missing him and Machin massively this season, but the rest of the drivers are certainly stepping up in a big, big, big way, Isaac.
They absolutely are, and they will continue to do so in a couple of weeks' time. But for now, that'll do it here from everyone here at AGT TV and TrackSpotTV. We do thank TrackSpotTV for supporting AGT. As always, if you need any broadcasting done, head over to www.trackspot.tv, or if you want to be involved in commentary, you like what we do and you fancy yourself a bit of a commentator, head over there as well. We have plenty of series across iRacing and ACC and a couple other platforms as well that you can get involved in and be a part of, and some big opportunities as well throughout the year for people to do some commentary. But for now, on behalf of myself, John Wright, and everyone here at AGT and TrackSpotTV, we thank you for your company. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for round 8 and the French Challenge, the sprint feature round making its return for season 3. But until then, stay safe, look after one another. We will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight.